Hello all my Goths, Vamps, Emos and witches. My name is Alixir and I'm a practicing witch and soothsayer, and welcome to the home of love and magic. I am so excited to bring you this video after so many years. I have finally decided to upgrade my filming process. I have had this same camera, I genuinely think, for about 10 years, since long into my Shane era. It has been wonderful, it has been beautiful, and I probably will still film my vlogs on this because the zoom is just incredible. But I'm so excited to be bringing you some actual audio quality and some, I hope, better video quality. FYI, if you hear some banging, the builders downstairs have very inconveniently just started to renovate the flat downstairs. Wow, so today I thought I'd do a little bit of an education on tarot. I'm going to be introducing to you the first 5 arcana of the tarot deck, that is 0 to 4. So just a little bit of history. The current deck that most people normally use now developed from 14th century Italian playing cards. This is very smoky. I apologize. You probably can't even see my face, which is probably good because I feel like this camera very not slay underlines my under eye bags, which I'm trying to maintain the illusion of youth, even though I have been on YouTube for over 10 years, so let's just bear that in mind. So by the 19th century, a lot of interest had grown in mysticism and tarot and finding out about the further beyond. So it was time to sort of overhaul that original tarot deck. And along came Arthur Edward Waite and his colleague artist Pamela Coleman Smith, who created what is now known as the pictorial Rider-Waite deck, which is the most common deck that you see for tarot now. There are 78 cards that make up a standard tarot deck, and they're divided into 2 classes. That's major and minor arcana. So the word arcana derives from the Latin that means secrets. So ominous. We love it. So the 22 major arcana cards are made up of archetypes that are common to all human experience. So when I say archetype, what I really mean is a blueprint for all common human experience, feeling, or quality. The major arcana make up 22 cards in the deck, and the minor arcana make up the last 56. I'm going to be starting to talk to you about the major arcana, obviously, because that's where the most interesting cards are, and you'll probably recognize a few of them already, but you might not know what they mean. So just a little bit of a clarification. A lot of people think that tarot predicts the future. And while there are people who are clairvoyant and do have visions and can predict the future, tarot is not necessarily used for that specifically. Tarot is meant to be a mirror. It's meant to reflect your soul at any given moment in time. So let's make a start on the deck. The first card we see in the deck is the Fool, and this is numbered 0. Now, the Fool is the person who often begins the journey. The Fool has a very give-and-take personality. They're adventurous but irresponsible. They're careless but carefree. They live under the guise of ignorance is bliss. They're enthusiastic and optimistic, but they fall quickly in love and become infatuated and impulsive. Now, when looking deeper into the psyche of tarot cards, we can use a theory put forward by Andrew Lowen, which looks at character structures. He proposed that there are 6 basic character structures that almost everybody in life falls into, and these character structures look at how people armor themselves. So when looking at the Fool, we can see that they very quickly fall into a character structure known as the Lover, and it's easy to understand why, with their tendency to fall into early infatuation. This is because this character is highly excessive in their second chakra, which focuses on your right to have, which can obviously lead to an addictive, carefree, impulsive personality exemplified by the Fool. Because of this constant need for emotional merging and giving, it results in a fear of rejection for the Fool, and they can sometimes present as depressed, needy, and dependent. They often go through life with the mantra, "I can't do it alone, love will solve everything." Now, interestingly, this character is often clairsentient, meaning they can pick up on the vibrations around them. They can sense other people's feelings very, very easily, but find it difficult to understand their own. Overall, this character can be extremely loving, if not a bit carefree with their heart, but they do personify the nature of Eros, the god of desire, because they are so based on connection and intimacy. And one piece of advice I would give if you were dealt this card is be self-reliant, no matter how challenging the beginning. Moving on, we have number 1, the Magician. The Magician is an extremely good communicator and embody confidence and taking the initiative. They have a very persuasive power and an ability to adapt to change. They're inspirational and romantically flexible. Now, this character overall can initially present as very well balanced in their chakras, especially in their third, where they present spontaneity, purpose, and strength. However, they can easily tip over to become excessive in their third chakra, which is your right to act, resulting in a fear of submission, leaving them to become power hungry, basically. They can become extremely dominating, maintaining the illusion that everything is purely down to will. You can achieve anything if you just will it to be. And this is why they make very good companions for the underdog. Sometimes the Fool and the Magician can actually go very well hand in hand if you've got someone who needs that backing up. If they are constantly giving their love away, as the Fool does, sometimes the Magician can come to the aid of the Fool. However, if you have a romantic relationship between the Fool and the Magician, that might not go so well, because the Magician character may become quite power hungry and afraid of submission, and the Fool character just gives the Magician all of their love. Because of the Magician's ability to communicate really well, they are representative of the Greek god Hermes. And some advice for being dealt this card is use your skill. You have amazing skills in communication, and apparently you have a way of getting what you want. So you may as well put it into something like starting a new business or enterprise. You've got the skills. Now, before we move on to the next card, please hit the subscribe button. It means the world to me. This is something obviously I'm extremely passionate about, and I really want to just help educate people and bring a little bit of magic into people's lives. Moving on to the next card in the Arcana, we have number 2, the High Priestess. This card has a heavy focus around trusting your intuition and finding secrets being revealed. She can help restore your subtle powers and also help you in being a seductress. It can bring you enlightenment from a love secret and also aid a telepathic connection between you and your partner. Now, overall, this character, pretty well balanced, especially when it comes to healthy sexual feeling, pleasure, fluidity, imagination, and perception, and of course intuition. Now, it's highly interesting because the High Priestess is one of the only cards, if not the only card, who actually recognizes herself as an archetype. Outside of all the others, she has the third eye perception to see life for what it is and to use that to understand the world on a deeper level and people as well. She's often clairvoyant, which means she has the ability to, on non-physical planes, see auras, chakras, and the past and future events. But obviously, like all of us, she's not completely perfect, as much as we would wish her to be. She does have obviously the ability to become excessive in both her second and sixth chakras, meaning she can become addicted to sex, and she can also become delusional from spending too much time in the non-physical planes. Although she is a pretty boss card, I won't lie. She might be my favourite. And because of all her feminine energy and connection to the moon, we connect this card to the moon goddess Selene. Moving on then. Oh no, you want advice. Sorry, advice. If you get this card, basically, I would be pretty fucking happy. I won't lie. She's great. But proper advice. Mystery lies in our hearts as well as the souls of others. Basically, you need to discover yourself first before opening up to other people. Because if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else, babe? Basically, this card is going to be your aloof, witchy person who maybe can become a little bit delusional sometimes. Maybe a bit grandiose. Maybe needs to go down a peg or two. Moving on. I can't turn the card over. We have number 3. The Empress. So the Empress looks at progress and attraction. She has a blooming inner world and determined feminine energy. She can help you set creative goals and move towards them. She provides strong sensual pleasure, but also sometimes a need to mother your partner. Now, this character has a very strong 5th chakra from all of their creative lifestyle and self-expression. She understands her own inner voice incredibly well and uses that to communicate to others around her and also express herself very freely. She also, of course, has a very strong 2nd second chakra as well that allows her to be sexually free and fluid and love her sexuality completely. The Empress is also highly connected to her etheric body, which means she can feel other people's auras very, very strongly. This is a person who is probably instantly going to know whether she's going to get on with someone or not get on with someone just from their energy. But because of this strong ability to sense people's auras, it can lead to a mothering effect because she's constantly feeling other people's energy and therefore empathetic towards other people. And obviously this card, because of her feminine and blooming energy, connects with the Mother Gaia. Also a very strong card. This is a very you era card. If you're feeling yourself and you're feeling boss energy, this might be your card. Some advice, if you're dealt this card, I would say trust your inner whispers of feeling over thoughts. And finally, we're gonna move on to the last card of this video, and that is number 4, the Emperor. So while the Empress is all about intuition, sexuality, the Emperor is more about boundaries and power. And this can be seen in a good and bad light, obviously. So we associate this card with authority, obviously, but also tactless and insensitive. You could be a leader, but you could be power tripping. You could have an attraction to a father figure or a power tripping partner. Now, the Emperor commands power over the third chakra with strength, purpose, structure, self-esteem, and are incredibly good if you've had anxiety or a need for boundaries. The Emperor also has an incredibly strong ego identity, as they're able to organize difficult and diverse situations in life while still maintaining a sense of self, which is really hard. And props to anyone who gets this card and can stay true to this card, because having a strong ego identity when there's so many things going on in the world is really difficult. However, as we know, because this character has a strong sense of power and feeling in their right to act, they can often tip over into the challenger defender structure, meaning they obviously can develop a fear of submission and come across as power hungry. And I'm sure we all know a few characters like this. And in my opinion, that's when you lose your crown as an emperor. And because of this card's links to power and structure, it connects with the Roman god Jupiter. And just a little bit of advice. Confidence earns respect, but your thoughts and words must be backed up by actions. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed part 1 of my breakdown of tarot cards. Extra points to anyone who can guess the songs that influence the tarot card images. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.